except for reading the shloka translation purport, you can keep the phones inside. Chapter title Prayers by the Demigods for Lord Krishna in the Womb. Shloka 37. 10th canto, 2nd chapter, 37 shloka. Please repeat. Shrinvan Grunan Samsmarayan Cha Chintayan Namani Rupani Cha Mangalani Te Kriyasu Yaha Tvat Charana Aravindayoho Avishtachetāha Na Bhavaya Kalpate Shrinvan Gurnan Samsmarayamscha Chintayan Namani Rupani Cha Mangalani Te Kriyasu Yastvacharanaravindayor Avishtachetāna Bhavaya Kalpate Shrinvan Grunan Samsmarayamscha Chintayan Namani Rupani Cha Mangalani Te Kriyasu Yastvacharanaravindayor Avishtachetāna Bhavaya Kalpate Shrinvan Ghrinan Samsmarayamscha Chintayan Namani Rupani Cha Mangalani Te Kriyasu Yastvacharanaravindayo Avishtachetāna Bhavaya Kalpate Tayan Namani Rupani Cha Mangalani Te Kriyasu Yastvacharanaravindayo Avishtachetāna Bhavaya Kalpate Shrinvan Grunan Samsmarayam Cha Chintayan Namani Rupani Cha Mangalani Te Kriyasu Yastvacharanaravindayo Avishtachetāna Bhavaya Kalpate Shrinvan Grunan Samsmarayamscha Chintayan Nirupani Cha Mangalani Te Yasu Yastacharanaravindayo Avishtachetāna Bhavaya Kalpate Shrinvan Grunan Samsmarayamscha Chintayan नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते प्रियासु यस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेतन भवाय कल्पते शृण्वन् गृणन् संस्मरयंश्च चिन्तयन् नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते प्रियासु यस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेतन भवाय कल्पते शृण्वन्, constantly hearing about the Lord. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho. Grinan, chanting or reciting the holy name of the Lord and his activities. Samsmarayan, remembering, constantly thinking of the Lord's lotus feet and his form. Cha and Chintayan, contemplating the transcendental activities of the Lord. Namani, his transcendental names. Rupani, his transcendental forms. Cha, also. Mangalani, which are all transcendental and therefore auspicious. Te, of your lordship. Kriyasu, in being engaged in the devotional service. Yaha, he who. Tvatcharana aravindayoho, at your lotus feet. Avishtachetaha, the devotee who is completely absorbed in such activities. Na, not bhavaya, for the material platform. Kalpate is fit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: even while engaged in various activities, devotees whose minds are completely absorbed at your lotus feet and who constantly hear, chant, contemplate, and cause others to remember your transcendental names and forms are always on the transcendental platform, and thus they can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is demigod speaking to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods are speaking about the Shravanam, Kirtanam, and the Smaranam of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are addressing the Supreme Lord in this way. Purport: how Bhakti Yoga can be practiced is explained in this verse. Srila Rupa Goswami has said that anyone who has dedicated his life to the service of the Lord, Iha Yassa Harer Dasye, by his activities, his mind, and his words, Karmana Manasa Gira, may stay in any condition of life, Nikilavs of Yavastasu, and yet is no longer actually conditioned but is liberated. Jivan Muktasa Uchate. Even though such a devotee is in a material body, he has nothing to do with this body, for he is transcendentally situated. Narayana Parasarvena Kutashchana Bibhyati. Because a devotee is engaged in transcendental activities, he is not afraid of being materially embodied. Bhagavatam 6:17-28. Illustrating this liberated position, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavathat Bhakti Rahaitu Kitvayi. All I want is your costless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Even if a devotee, by the supreme will of the Lord, takes birth in this material world, he continues his devotional service. When King Bharata made a mistake and in his next life became a deed, his devotional service did not stop. Although some slight chastisement was given to him because of his negligence, Narada Muni says that Even if one falls from the platform of devotional service, he is not lost. Whereas non-devotees are not, whereas non-devotees are lost entirely because they are not engaged in service. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 14, therefore recommends that one always engage at least in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, the great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. One should not give up the process of devotional service, which is performed in 9 different ways: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, etc. The most important process is hearing, Shravanam, from the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, the spiritual master, the saintly acharyas, and the Vedic literature. Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Chitte Te Kariya Aikya. We should not hear the commentaries and explanations of non devotees, for this is strictly forbidden by Srila Sanatana Goswami, who quotes from the Padma Purana: Avaishnavamukhodginam putam harikatamritam Shravanam naiva kartavyam sarpochishtam yatapayaha. We should strictly follow this injunction and never try to hear from Mayavadis, impersonalists, voidists, politicians, or so called scholars. Strictly avoiding such inauspicious association, we should simply hear from pure devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Sri Guru Padashrayaha. One must seek shelter at the lotus feet of a pure devotee who can be one's guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises that a guru is one who strictly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhila 7128. A juggler, a magician, or one who speaks nonsense as an academic career is not a guru. Rather, a guru is one who presents Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's instructions as it is. Shravana is very important. One must hear from the Vaishnava Sadhu, Guru, and the Shastra. The word Kriyasu, meaning by manual labor or by work, is important in these words. One should engage in practical service to the Lord. In our Krishna consciousness movement, all our activities are concentrated upon distributing Krishna literature. This is very important. One may approach any person and induce him to read Krishna literature so that in the future he also may become a devotee. Such activities are recommended in this verse. Kriyasu yastvacharana ravindayoho. Such activities will always remind the devotees of the Lord's lotus feet. By fully concentrating on distributing books for Krishna, one is fully absorbed in Krishna. This is samadhi. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Yatpatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadam Tikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्ण सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिने नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे शृण्वन् गृणन् संस्मरयंश्च चिन्तयन् नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते क्रियासु यस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयो आविष्टचेतन भवाय कल्पते. The Supreme personality of Godhead is addressed by the demigods. Even while engaged in various activities, devotees whose minds are completely absorbed at your lotus feet and who constantly hear, chant, contemplate, and cause others to remember your transcendental names and forms are always on the transcendental platform, and thus they can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, but I think we are not in this particular canto in our everyday reading. But we have specifically taken this verse because of one special reason, that the December marathon or Srila Prabhupada marathon is coming up. Srila Prabhupada marathon, initially it was not called Srila Prabhupada marathon. Before that it was called December marathon. I do not know whether devotees are aware of these facts. Before it is called December marathon. So the whole month of December, devotees used to distribute Prabhupada books. Now it's from, I think, November 15th to January 15th. So it has expanded. The movement is expanding. So the marathon is also expanding. That's so nice. We are waiting when the expansion will be in such a way that 12 months the marathon is happening. But even before it was called December marathon, it was called Christmas marathon. This is quite popular in our ISKCON society in the 70s, 80s. Before that, it was called Christmas marathon because it was during those times that devotees will go up for in a very vigorous scale to distribute books, because the trend is that in the Western world, the Christmas time, the eve of Christmas or the New Year time, people try to offer some gift to their friends, relatives, neighbors, maybe enemies also. But even they may not give to the enemies, but we give a gift to our enemy also. We give Srila Prabhupada books to our enemies also. If you think that this person is my enemy, you should not forget to give him Srila Prabhupada books. The full set of Srila Prabhupada books we should give to him, so that he becomes friend to us. We want everybody our friend. In fact, devotees should not have enemies. There is one great devotee addressed as Ajata Shatru in the Shastra. Who is that? Yeah, Yudhishthira Maharaj. But all devotees are Ajata Shatru. They don't have any enemies. Others may see devotees as enemies. That is different. We cannot avoid. This is material world. Matsaratha. People are always envious. What fault is there on the side of the Pandavas led by Yudhishthira Maharaj? No fault. In fact, they are so genuine in their dealings, and they are also very humble in their dealings. Though they are kings of the whole world, they asked Duryodhan to give them just 5 villages to rule. 5 villages is nothing. 5 villages may not even cover the whole of Kumarasamy layout. It is a very small place. But even that was rejected by Duryodhan. The whole Pandava kingdom extends through the all 7 seas. Now we are speaking about 7 seas. So Bharatavarsha was fully ruled by one king, the Chakravarti. He is the ruler of the whole world, the Kuru king, and in the Kuru Vamsa comes the Pandavas. But because they are not allowed to rule, generally they are called as Pandavas, and the Kurus are called the Kauravas. So Duryodhan, he said that I won't even give a place through which one can drive a needle. This is the extent of envy that Duryodhana had. But Yudhishthira Maharaj is Ajata Shatru. He didn't see him as an enemy. It was not difficult for him to finish Duryodhana also. But still, Krishna had a different plan. So, devotees should not have any enemies. Devotees are always Ajata Shatru. So, before December marathon, it was called Christmas marathon, because during those times people used to give gifts, and devotees took advantage of this um, act of the karmis, and then they started distributing books to them, and they were very happy. They're very happy to see the beautiful Krishna books, very beautiful Radha Krishna in the front cover of the Krishna book, and very beautiful Krishna driving chariot for Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and also volumes of Bhagavatams and other literatures. So in the Western countries, on Christmas Day, they are giving Bhagavad Gita as a gift to their Christian friend. That's quite unheard in India. It's impossible, in fact. How come for on a Christmas time somebody can buy a Krishna book or a Bhagavad Gita? But in the Western world, people were accepting these things. Anyway, long back they had given up the principles of Christianity. And even if somebody is truly a Christian, definitely he will embrace Krishna. There is no doubt. Krishna is not a Hindu god. Krishna is not a Christian god. Krishna is not a Muslim god. Krishna is not a god for the humans. Krishna is not a god for the demigods. Krishna is Lord Jagannath. He is the Lord of all living entities. He is the supreme proprietor of all existences. So, in during Srila Prabhupada's time, it's called Christmas Marathon, and devotees used to distribute books like anything. Even now, it's difficult for us to comprehend how devotees could distribute so many books. Just in the, I think this is in the northern part of the America, which was led by Rameshwar Maharaj that time in the 1970s, that in 1 week time, that one particular zone where Maharaj was in charge of distribution, they distributed 7 lakh books just a week. And it was not like a big congregation of devotees that we have now. That time, it was not like that. During Prabhupada's time, 5,000 disciples he had, and 5,000 were aspiring to become disciples. So hardly some 10,000 devotees in the 1977. So in the 1970s, you can expect some 2,000, 3,000 people. But it was as if the whole world were filled with Hare Krishna devotees. That is one anecdote I just heard from one of our devotees, that one person, he just saw this devotee distributing Prabhupada books in the UK airport. And he was so surprised that somehow he thought, let me go and speak to this person. So he goes and speak to this person. And in fact, that person himself is there and asking him to take a book. So he starts to speak. So he starts to asking him, so is this Hare Krishna people everywhere all around the world? What is your population? I'm seeing you everywhere. Then he said that we are hardly some 2,000, 3,000 disciples, devotees all around the world. Only 2,000, 3,000. I am seeing you everywhere. Wherever I go around the world, I am traveling all around the world. Wherever I am going, I am seeing devotees standing in the airport giving this literature. I thought you should be there everywhere all around the world, maybe quite a lot of millions of devotees. But this person was so surprised that I am seeing you everywhere. But it was just 2,000 devotees. But they were making such a revolution that, as I said, in fact, this report was told to Srila Prabhupada. It is a conversation you can find, that in this conversation, Srila Prabhupada is informed by Rameshwar Maharaj that they distributed 7 lakh books in a week in his zone. And Srila Prabhupada is proudly speaking to his devotees, disciples, that this is never in the history of any religion. And in India, it is hard because it's not that 7 lakh books were distributed to Hindus or people who call themselves as Sanatan Dharma. But these 7 lakh books were distributed to people who are from a different community, Jews, Muslims, Christians, and they were all taking, and they do not even know what is Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavata, but still they were taking. So it's so amazing. So Prabhupada's time, devotees had all energy, and then their focus was this, distributing these Krishna conscious literatures. And right here, Srila Prabhupada, he is telling in this purport that in our Krishna consciousness movement, all our activities are concentrated upon distributing Krishna literatures. So we are doing so many activities in our movement, but all our activities are supposed to be centered on, concentrated on distributing this Krishna literatures. This is very, very important. Definitely, it's not happening in a very massive scale, but it should happen in a massive scale again. Now the potential is more. Now the count of devotees is more. Now people have so much money. Even 50, 60 years before, people in India, they were not having that much money to afford buying anything. But now we see that people have all money to buy a smartphone. They have all money to go and watch movies, spend extravagantly in hotels or tours. So people have all money. Otherwise, how come in a country like India, 900 million smartphones are sold? It's like 90 billion, sorry, 90 crores. Indian population maybe some 140 crores, something like that. And out of that, 90 crore smartphones. Definitely, in a house, there are two smartphones. It is very clear. In a house, in fact, there is no need of phones, but even if there is a phone, one phone is enough, but they have two phones. And they're two smartphones, not the ordinary phones. So people have money. So it should not be difficult. So definitely we should do. The hope is there. The potential is there, but we have to take advantage. We have to just uh, take advantage of the position that the material energy is offering to people and engage the people in reading these books, getting these books and reading these books. And that is of prime importance for our movement. This is a very important service. Obviously, this is spoken about and devotees know that, but only thing is that they don't do that. Otherwise, they know. They know book distribution is a very important activity. They know this is the primary activity. They know that Srila Prabhupada is pleased by book distribution. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said that um, if you want to please me, then distribute my books. In fact, there is one, uh, I will just read from here. Sometime before, I just read it. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That Srila Prabhupada wrote in 1974, December. Regarding your question, means there was some question asked to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada is answering this in this letter. Regarding your question, actually, when we use the word actually, then we are stressing. This is the real thing. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, regarding your question, actually, it is a fact. Actually, when we say actually, it's very clear. But when you say it is a fact, then you are just adding some more to it. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, actually, it is a fact that ultimately, you just see how much Prabhupada is speaking about a thing, that actually it is a fact that ultimately everyone should preach and distribute books if they want to please me in the best way. This is Srila Prabhupada saying. Somebody has asked some question regarding book distribution. So Srila Prabhupada, he is so clearly saying that regarding your question, actually it is a fact that ultimately everyone should preach and distribute books if they want to please me in the best way. Obviously, we are here in this movement to please Srila Prabhupada. And definitely, book distribution is not a service of the Sankirtan devotees. This is movement of Lord Chaitanya. Everybody is a Sankirtan devotee in this movement. Let them be a brahmachari or a grihastha, Prabhu or a Mataji or a girl or a youth, vanaprastha, sannyasi, anybody we may be in the society, but we are all Sankirtan devotees. Sankirtan devotee may cook in the kitchen, but simultaneously they can also do some preaching in their own capacity. There may be full-time book distribution devotees, but this preaching can be done by everybody. Very simple formula. In fact, in this particular shloka, Srila Prabhupada is giving the crux of what is ISKCON movement is all about. In fact, Srila Prabhupada did not do anything. He was just repeating the message of the Shastra. The point is, Yare deko tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Amaranya gurhana tara ye desh. That whomever you meet, you speak Krishna upadesh. And by that way, you just deliver your land by becoming a guru. Amaranya, on my order. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ordering, you become a guru and deliver your place by giving Krishna Upadesh to whomever you meet and by speaking Krishna Upadesh. This is so simple. This is so simple. This is the duty of every Sankirtan devotee. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Yare deko tare ko Krishna Upadesh, not to a brahmachari or a sannyasi, to a grihastha. Grihasthas are supposed to do this. Yare deko tare ko Krishna Upadesh. Whomever you meet, you may meet somebody in a store, somebody in the street, your neighbors. Somebody may call you. So we have to speak. We have to speak. And this is not something which is new also. This is the Guru Parampara. This is always the Guru Parampara. Book distribution is an eternal activity. This is not activity that is happening now. Srila Prabhupada has started this activity obviously in the form of book and a distribution party. And even before that also Bhaktivinoda Thakur started this book distribution party. But this book distribution is an eternal activity. Not that only in the modern times or not that only in Kali Yuga. It is always there in all yugas. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said, book distribution means distribution of transcendental knowledge. There is a quote by Srila Prabhupada. We have compiled all of Srila Prabhupada quotes about the importance of book distribution and the understanding behind book distribution in a book called Preaching Means Book Distribution. So, in one of the quotes, Srila Prabhupada, he says that book distribution means distribution of transcendental knowledge. Now, who is the first book distributor then? Hmm? Yes, Prabhupada, obviously, but Krishna. He is the first book distributor because he gave Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Mukhyanti Yat Surayaha. So Krishna, he gave this knowledge to Brahma. So obviously Krishna is the first book distributor because book distribution means distribution of transcendental knowledge. And our whole parampara we have in our Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, evam parampara praptimam rajarsha vidho. Krishna, he gave this knowledge to Brahma. Brahma gave to Narada. Narada gave to Vyasa. Vyasa gave to Madhvacharya. So the list of the Guru Parampara Acharyas you are seeing, they are the stalwart book distributors. You should know they are the stalwart book distributors. They are the primary book distributors. That's why their name is prominently put. And I I used to say to these devotees, and this is a proper understanding that you can also see that Srimad Bhagavatam is all about Sankirtan stories. Just today in the morning, Swam Prakash Prabhu was telling, Prabhu, you please speak some Sankirtan stories, whatever you would have so many Sankirtan stories. So you please share some Sankirtan stories. Devotees will be inspired to go out and distribute books. If somebody has read Srimad Bhagavatam, you should know that it is full of Sankirtan stories. It is full of Sankirtan stories. Just as we meet somebody, we give Srila Prabhupada books, then he becomes a devotee. Uh, the counter that we had with him, that we say that this is the Sankirtan story, how we gave the book. But if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, this is so many Sankirtan stories. We see that suddenly in some place Narada Muni is coming and giving this knowledge of Bhagavatam to Dhruva Maharaj, telling him to chant the holy names and surrender to the Lord, and then he becomes a devotee. This is a Sankirtan story. Because of Narada Muni's mercy, he became a devotee. And there is also how Prahlad Maharaj was instructed by Narada Muni when he was in the womb of his mother. That is also a Sankirtan story. Just imagine that a child is going to be killed in the womb, and then a devotee comes and speak Srimad Bhagavatam to the mother, and the child is now saved, and child becomes a devotee, and he becomes a preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam. Kaumaran Achrit Pranya Dharman Bhagavatanika. He says one should read Bhagavatam at the age of 5. So this was the Sankirtan story. In fact, there are real stories also where we have seen devotees how they save somebody by giving Srila Prabhupada books, and exactly such a thing only we are seeing in Srimad Bhagavatam. And we can see that how Krishna is inspiring uh, so many souls to take up this knowledge. We know that when we speak, when we go for book distribution, Krishna as Paramatma is inspiring that person to take a book from us. And that's what we see in Bhagavatam also, how Dhruva Maharaj is searching for something, and Krishna is telling Narada Muni, now you go. You just go and preach to him. So this is the same situation. When somebody is eager to receive this knowledge, then Krishna sends a Sankirtan devotee with a book in his hand. Then he goes. Then he thinks, oh, I was just waiting. And just like that, you have come. How many you would have experienced? I have also, yeah, I have also some personal experience. Just maybe some 2 years before, I was just calling one of my relatives. She's my cousin sister. Maybe some 5 years before, I just saw her. Then after that, I just call her. I just want to speak about Srila Prabhupada's sets of books, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I just told her that we have a very special book called Srimad Bhagavatam. Why don't you take it? Then my sister said, just last week somebody said that there is a book called Srimad Bhagavatam, and I decided that I won't go and ask anybody. If it comes on its own accord, I'll be very happy, but I am ready to take it. But I am not going to ask anybody. And exactly after 1 week, I have called her, and she was telling me this story. But she was eager that I want that book, she was thinking. But it's not that she was, I mean, she's uh, against. She doesn't know where that book will be available also, but she heard that, okay, there is a book called Srimad Bhagavatam. And when I told that this is Srimad Bhagavatam, it's a full set, you can take it. She said, okay, send. So I just sent by courier, and then she started reading it. And now maybe some 2.5 years have passed. She is reading third time Srimad Bhagavatam. She has finished all of Srila. Once she finished whole Bhagavatam, she ordered, is there another? In fact, when she was in touch with me, I made sure that if she is finishing, I'll give Chaitanya Charitamrita next. She took Chaitanya Charitamrita. She finished. She took Leelamrita. She finished. She took Srila Prabhupada's lecture device. Every day, 2-3 hours, she will be hearing while cooking, while sweeping, while washing the pot. She hears Prabhupada lectures. She is busily engaged in reading Prabhupada books, hearing his lectures, and Hardly she has come to ISKCON temple, maybe one or two times. But she is so strong. Why? Because she is reading Srila Prabhupada books. And I thought I'll just share one realization. Just, of course, we know, but we won't much think about that. We know that in our movement, the prime activity is distribution of Srila Prabhupada books. But what does that mean? When the prime activity in the movement is distribution of Srila Prabhupada books, then naturally the concomitant factor that we cannot avoid is that reading these books is also the prime activity. Otherwise, why at all we are distributing the books? We are distributing the books for the benefit of the person, and we are already there in the society. So we are the ones supposed to take full advantage. But if we don't read, then how it is possible that we can call ourselves as a devotee? In fact, there is one conversation wherein Srila Prabhupada, he is asking his disciples about one particular shloka, and everybody is quiet. They couldn't answer where it is coming from. Then Srila Prabhupada, he becomes a little angry. He says, are you not reading my books? Are you not reading my books? Do you think that your Guru Maharaj is writing books for selling and not for your reading? If somebody asks you, what is there in the books, what will you say? Will you say that my Guru Maharaj wrote books for you to read and for me to sell? This is Srila Prabhupada saying. Means Prabhupada is speaking about him, how his disciples are so expert in distributing books, but they are not reading his books. Srila Prabhupada said, don't take advantage of eating and sleeping. Take advantage of reading my books. I am strenuously working hard every day and night and giving you these purports. And if you don't take advantage, what can I do? You should take advantage. Srila Prabhupada, he strenuously, he meticulously, he was placing each and every word in his purports. So we should take advantage by reading these books. There are so many quotes about the importance of reading the books also. Yeah, definitely we want to preach, and that preaching is done best by distributing Prabhupada books. And it's not that preaching means somebody who sits in a Vyasasana or who sits in some chair and he is the center of attraction and there are so many people around and they are hearing from him. This is some preaching, but it's not that preaching is in a close circle. Preaching, a preacher can be right in the street. Preacher is right in the street distributing Prabhupada books. He is a preacher. Harisauri Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's personal servant. So at one point of time, everybody was assigned one particular title. If they are doing this service, what name we can give? If they are doing that service, what name we can address them? Somebody who is doing puja for the deity, okay, it's pujari. So in that list, Hariswari Prabhu is asking Srila Prabhupada that a book distributor, how can we address him? Srila Prabhupada says, Pracharak. Book distributor is the Pracharak. Pracharak means a preacher. So book distributor is a preacher. He is right there in the street. It's not that yes, the preacher has to just give a 1 hour lecture, sermon, and then just goes, hides. No. 8 hours, 10 hours, somebody can be in the street, full time preachers. They are preachers. Traditionally, a preacher is in the street. That's why we see Narada Muni is always in the street. He is not staying. He sits in a Vyasasana also. He'll be offered Vyasasana. Of course, he is Guru of Vyasadeva. That is another thing. But we know that Narada Muni, he meets Dhruva Maharaj in the forest. He meets Daksha in a kingdom. He meets Mrigari in a forest. He meets Prahlad Maharaj and his mother Kayadu in a palace. And in ways, so many different ways, you can see how Narada Muni is expertly preaching. We used to always say Narada Muni is the best of book distributors. He's the best of book distributors. In fact, on his order, only Srimad Bhagavatam was written by Vedavyas. We can see that how Narada Muni advised Vyasadeva to write down Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, without Srimad Bhagavatam, people can't be happy. In fact, you yourself can't be happy. This is the advice given to Vyasadev. Vyasadev, he wrote down all the 18, 17 Puranas, he wrote all the Upanishads, then Smritis, Shrutis, even the Pancharat, everything he wrote. He wrote down Rig, Yajur, Sam, Atharva, all he wrote. And he wrote Vedanta Sutra also, but still he was not happy. He wrote Mahabharata also, still he was not happy. Then, on the order of Narada Muni, he wrote down Srimad Bhagavatam, then he was happy. So, Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, it comes in the 5th chapter, 1st canto Srimad Bhagavatam, that even the writer of Vedanta Sutra, he was not happy even after writing it. How come the readers of Vedanta Sutra can be happy? Prabhupada is targeting the Mayavadis, the impersonalists. They take so much pleasure in Vedanta Sutra. But we see that even the writer of Vedanta Sutra is not happy. He is the author. The Brahma Sutras were written by Vedavyas, but still he was not happy. Then how we can expect happiness by reading Vedanta Sutra? It's not possible. In fact, in one of the talks, in one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada says that, I do not know whether devotees are aware of this one particular shloka. Tad vayasam tirtam usanti manas. Somebody has heard that? What is the beginning verse? Tatvag Visarga's next sloka, I think. Hamsa Niraman Tushikshaya Tadvayasam Tirtham. Tadvayasam Tirtham refers to the place where the crows will take advantage. It refers to a dirty place. Tadvayasam Tirtham means a dirty place where the tirtha for the crows will be. Crows will have their tirtha in a dirty place, in a garbage. Now this is a little winter season. Usually this winter season, this rainy season, people will have the mucus coming out and they will just throw it. Maybe city people, they have their towel something, uh, but sometimes they just do like this and throw the mucus out in villages. And where such mucus is thrown, these crows will go and put their mouth and eat it. Such a obnoxious bird this crow is. So Tad Vayasam Tirtham refers to the place where garbage is kept. So all the literary churches of the world are considered as garbage. And who goes to that garbage? Who have the mindset of a crow, unclean in habit, very impure. So such persons go to such garbage. So Srila Prabhupada in one of the talks, he says that even the Vedanta Sutra is coming under such Tadvayasam Tirtham. That is a place of pilgrimage for the crows. Then you can just imagine. Definitely, the exalted devotees who 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 can give the proper meaning for Vedanta Sutra by proper glorification of Krishna, then that time that literature becomes the best of literatures. Otherwise, people trying to find impersonal Brahman, reading all this literatures, still they are engaged in this hunting the garbage. So this book distribution is a very important activity that we should fully focus on in our movement. And it is so simple, it is not difficult at all. That we should be just eager. Prabhupada, I do not know whether devotees have heard this. Prabhupada said that eager is the quality by which you can attain Krishna. There are so many qualities, but we should know that one is not eager, then how we are going to develop many qualities. This eagerness is very important in spiritual life. Just by being eager, one can attain Krishna. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a thief. A thief, somehow, he heard that maybe he came to steal in a big crowd. In that crowd, The person who was sitting in a Vyasa, and he was speaking about Krishna. He is in Vrindavan. He used to wear so many beautiful ornaments on his body, very beautiful. And he's a small boy. He'll be just running. Nobody will tell. Everybody will be happy to see. And it is not like a palace. It's just a village. Very beautiful boy. Like that, he was just glorifying Krishna and about his beautiful form. So this thief, he heard that and he thought that, oh, Vrindavan, that boy is there. Very young boy. Maybe I'll go and steal from that boy because he's a child. It's easy to steal. He'll be inattentive. Child means they'll be inattentive in what they are having. They won't bother, they may forget also. So this boy will be inattentive, so maybe I will just go and steal from this boy. So this thief, he had so much faith in what that person who spoke from the Shastra. When he goes to Vrindavan, he waits. He's eagerly waiting when that boy will come, when that small uh, child will come. Then seeing the eagerness, Krishna comes. Krishna comes and then now the child has come. Now let me steal. He's alone. Nobody is watching. Let me try to take some ornaments from his body. Then he is trying to. Actually, Prabhupada is explaining this in a lecture very sweetly. Prabhupada is explaining. So he is trying to take the ornaments from his body. Then Krishna is no. My mother will scold me. But still he is trying to entice by giving him something. But then he becomes captivated. Then he came here to steal from Krishna. Then he got stolen by Krishna. Then he becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. But this thief, he just saw the Lord because he was so eager. Maybe he had a different motive, but still he was eager to see, and Krishna was very happy to present. So this eagerness is a very important quality. So if we have that eagerness to distribute, then we can distribute. It is nothing difficult at all. If you are eager, and if you are put naturally, when one is eager, the thief was eager, but it's not that he was staying in his place and not going to Vrindavan. No, he went to Vrindavan. He put all efforts to go to Vrindavan, and he was waiting when that boy Krishna is going to appear. Then let me go and. So similarly, it's not that eager means you don't do anything. Eager means action. There is action in eagerness. When you want to become a rich man, it's not that you don't do anything. You simply dream of becoming a rich man. You want to actually do something. When you are eager to watch a film, then we go to the cinema house and go and watch. Not that I'm eager to see. We should not be eager to see films. That is another thing. Yeah. In fact, we should not be eager. We should be detached in watching all these things. But karmis, they are so eager to watch something, they will go. Somebody eager to watch a politician, they will go and see. I'm eager to see the president of India, the prime minister of India. Then naturally we'll go and see. So similarly, if we are eager to distribute, then we should go. We should go and do some action. And definitely, seeing your eagerness, Krishna will send some soul. It is always like that. Krishna will always send somebody. If we are eager to give, then Krishna will send a person who is eager to buy. This is the book distribution. It's nothing difficult. It's there in the Shastra. Dhruva Maharaj was eager to see. Krishna sent Narada Muni. So if you are eager to give, then there will be some person who is eager to take. So it is like that. So we should just be eager to go. And in our book distribution principles, whenever I speak to devotees, I say that you always keep Prabhupada books in your home. We especially we are focused on distributing sets of Bhagavatam. We go to different places, centers, and then we used to inspire the members to distribute sets of Bhagavatam. And we came up with 108 ideas to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, then FAQs while distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, one of our suggestions, which is so practical that we are eager to distribute, keep some dozen sets of Bhagavatam in your home. If you think that I'm not that eager, you please develop the eager, but at least keep at least one set extra in your home. Apart from whatever your set is, that is okay. That's for you. And if you don't have any set of Bhagavatam, you please buy for yourself. Do something good for ourselves. Srila Prabhupada, there is a quote wherein Srila Prabhupada said that all of my devotees should have all of my books translated in their home for their study and also preaching purpose. There is another quote. Srila Prabhupada has given all wonderful instructions. We are just unaware of many instructions. Just as this comes in the 10th canto, somebody who is reading Bhagavatam regular basis, and when they come to the 10th canto, they will know this. Oh, Srila Prabhupada is telling that all activities in our Krishna consciousness movement are concentrated in distributing the Krishna literatures. So you have to come to 10th canto to know this instruction. That's why we have to read the books. In fact, there is one quote which comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Naturally, devotees read Bhagavad Gita, then finish it. Then Krishna book they finish. They come to Bhagavatam, they finish it. Then they come to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then comes Adilila. Then comes Madhilila. It's 5 volumes. And in that fifth volume, I am reading a quote. All the devotees connected with the Krishna consciousness movement must read. Must. Prabhupada says, Eva bhi gachet. Gachet means must. In Sanskrit, gachet means must. So Srila Prabhupada using that here. Must. All the devotees connected with the Krishna consciousness movement must read all the books that have been translated. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and others. Otherwise, after some time, they will simply eat, sleep and fall down from their position. So this is a warning. Srila Prabhupada says that if you are just in the movement without reading the books that he has given, uh, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Gita, then after some time we will simply eat, sleep, and fall down. So we should be very careful. Uh, Srila Prabhupada books give us instructions to stay in Krishna consciousness, and Srila Prabhupada books give us so much information about Krishna that one can relish. Just as this is 10th canto, we relish. But in the second chapter of the 10th canto, we see so many instructions also, how one can be detached from the material energy. And there are so many things to relish in the 10th canto. Krishna's pastimes, Krishna stealing butter, Krishna uh, lifting Govardhan hill, then Krishna getting married, Krishna's dance, Krishna's herding the cows, Krishna's fighting the demons. All so much to relish. So there are so much to relish also in Srila Prabhupada books. And there are also so many instructions which will guide us, which will help us in getting detached from the material world. So everything that needs to stay us alive in Krishna consciousness and protect us from falling down is there in Prabhupada books. So when we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada books, then we don't fall down. Definitely we are chanting, but Srila Prabhupada, in fact, there is one quote wherein Srila Prabhupada is asked by one of the devotees. So this Mataji is asking Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada, is it okay that we can chant without the instructions? Srila Prabhupada was confused. He was asking what? Then Sudam Prabhu, who was nearby, he's saying, Prabhupada, this devotee is asking that just we can chant without reading your books. Then Srila Prabhupada says that, but your chanting should be pure. If you don't read, how you will be pure? And your Guru Maharaj has written so many books, and if you are telling no need to read, then this is Guru Avanya. Prabhupada says if you don't read the books, this is Guru Avanya. This is offense to the pure devotee of the Lord, spiritual master. Then the devotee again rephrases, so we should chant along with reading your books. Then Prabhupada said, yes. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, in this purport where we read, Srila Prabhupada is saying, Shravanam is the first important activity. When there is proper Shravanam, then there can be proper Kirtanam. If you want to chant nicely, if you hear properly, then you can chant nicely. Either you chant Bhagavatam or you are chanting Hare Krishna. Both are same. Both are chanting only. Both are Kirtan. It's not that Kirtan means Hare Krishna singing. We know that Bhagavatam is the kirtan that Shukadeva Goswami did. He became perfect by doing the kirtan of Srimad Bhagavatam. So reading Srila Prabhupada books is very, very essential in our life. We should have, even if you don't have the taste, but we should have a sadhana of reading 1 or 2 hours minimum. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said that you should have a sadhana of 2 hours of reading his books every day. There are so many quotes where Prabhupada said about reading his books. And when you read Srila Prabhupada books, then naturally the enthusiasm to distribute the books comes. So we should read books, then naturally we'll have inspiration to distribute. The Srila Prabhupada also said the enthusiasm to distribute his books comes from reading his books. The enthusiasm to distribute his books in a huge quantities, Prabhupada in huge quantity. So even if you don't read, still you can distribute books. But if you want to distribute in huge quantities, then naturally, when you read, you can distribute more. So we should read. Then we'll be able to distribute more. And so our request is that you keep some books in your home. You keep at least one set of Bhagavatam, one box of Bhagavad Gita Krishna in your home, and then distribute it. Don't give free books because people have money. When they give their hard-earned money, then they will read it. Rare cases, one may offer a free book, but usually we should distribute it. Then that is very potential. Srila Prabhupada also said, there is one called Jarvis, a reporter, who asked Srila Prabhupada that Swamiji, why are you selling your books? Why don't you give these books for free? Srila Prabhupada says, if I give you books for free, it will lie in the rack for hundreds of years. You won't read it. If I give you books for free, you won't read it. It will lie in the rack for hundreds of years. Then that reporter is asking, okay, Swamiji, then why don't you give it in the production cost? But Srila Prabhupada is answering see, this person is an outsider, but still Srila Prabhupada is answering that we have to print our books and we are expanding the movement. So I have written a will that 50% of the books money will go for reproducing the books again, and 50% will go for expanding the centers all around the world. So Srila Prabhupada, he wanted some profit also in his books. So this is very important that we give books with a good price, with some profit, so that we can expand the movement based on book distribution. This is very important that we take this activity very seriously. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yare Deko Tareko Krishna Upadesh. And how we are going to do? Yare Deko, we are meeting so many people. And Tare Kaho, what? Krishna Upadesh. Krishna Upadesh is Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In that particular chapter where this sloka comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada translates Krishna Upadesh, word to word meaning. Srila Prabhupada, this is how Prabhupada translates all his books. He gives the sloka, then the Sanskrit transliteration, then the word to word meaning. So in the word to word meaning of the Yare Deko Tareko Krishna Upadesh, Prabhupada says that Krishna Upadesh is Bhagavad Gita as spoken by Krishna to Arjuna and Srimad Bhagavatam as spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So Krishna Upadesh is both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Krishna Upadesh is not just Bhagavad Gita, that is Krishna's Upadesh. But Krishna Upadesh, the Upadesh of the devotees about Krishna, that is also Krishna Upadesh. That is 18,000 shlokas. It is 95% of Krishna Upadesh is Bhagavatam. 5% is Bhagavad Gita. If you see the slokas, 700 slokas and 18,000 slokas. So much to do. And we have to give both. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Krishna Upadesh. You have to give Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Prabhupada he translates, Yare Deko Tareko Krishna Upadesh means Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So this both we have to give. We have to do it. And how we are going to give? First, we ourselves should have the Upadesh. We should have the Upadesh. Then only we can give the Upadesh. So if you have some books in your home, then you can naturally give. You can naturally distribute it. And that's how we can expand our movement. This movement that Srila Prabhupada has started, this is standing on his books, the foundational Srila Prabhupada books. And this movement is living on Srila Prabhupada books. Every day we are giving classes from Prabhupada books. Even today we just began from Prabhupada's purport. Everything is all from Prabhupada's quotes. And it's maintained by Srila Prabhupada books. Now, obviously, because especially in India, people are quite generous. They give something for the temple. But in Prabhupada's time, especially in the Western countries, the temples were maintained by book distribution. There is nothing called charity known to the Western people. Maybe obviously it may be there, but to a sadhu, they do not know anything. But they are happy to offer something when they get a book. So the all temples in the Western world were just maintained by book distribution. And even we heard from Navin Arad Prabhu, and we would have seen that Prabhupada, he got all the profit from the books sold in the Western world to be brought to India to build temples in Vrindavan, Mayapur, I mean Bombay. So all the temples that were built during Prabhupada's time in India were the money coming from the Western devotees distributing his books. So the books were maintaining the whole society, and the books were spreading this movement also. So this movement resting and maintained and living and even spread just by Prabhupada books. So these books are just very important. In fact, this is what our Guru Parampara is, that we get the knowledge and distribute the knowledge. So we are here, as a temple, we are here. Why? Because we want to get this knowledge and share this knowledge. And we should do that. And book distribution is all about sharing this knowledge. And this is such an amazing thing that Srila Prabhupada has done, that anybody can do this now. Anybody can do this. Previously, as I said, Narada Muni was a book distributor, or Vyasdev was a book distributor, or the Goswamis, or the Vishnu Chakra Thakur. They were all book distributors in distributing knowledge. But for us, the task has become so easy that everything is there in Srila Prabhupada books. You just have to only give a book. Many times devotees ask, Prabhu, I have not read the book. I have not read Bhagavatam, or I have not finished Bhagavad Gita or Krishna. How can I distribute? And we say that when you distribute the books, it is Srila Prabhupada who is going to speak, not thee. Just like somebody arranged a stage here, they arranged a mic here. It's not that the person who is arranging the mic or the stage has to know what I'm going to speak. Maybe he is completely ignorant, no issue. He has to arrange a stage so that the speaker can speak. And when we distribute Srila Prabhupada books, it is Prabhupada who is going to speak. So even if you don't know anything, maybe when somebody asks what is in the book, you can simply tell them, that's why I want you to take the book. Because you'll get the answer. I do not know, but still the answer is there in the book, you can take it. But if you know, then it's an added advantage. You can convince and then tell him to take a book. In whatever way, we should give a book. Whether you know anything in the book or you don't know anything in the book, you give a book. This is our policy. At least this much we can speak. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Prabhupada said. Preaching is very simple. Just as this Saraswati, she is a child, she is the daughter of, who is this? Malati Mataji, Shamashandrapur. So, this Saraswati, she knew to preach. She will go somebody and ask them, do you know who Krishna is? And she will say, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you know this much, then you can be a preacher. In fact, you are a preacher only when you know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody else can be a preacher. If you know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can be a preacher. You can go and distribute books. Sometimes this is so amazing that even people who do not know who Krishna is, still they also are used in the movement of Srila Prabhupada to distribute books. Sometime I remember when I was distributing um, sets of Bhagavatam to many people. So one person, he took Srimad Bhagavatam and he said that, see, I have a friend. I want him also to take this set. You please give him also. And then he gave the contact number and we distributed set to him. In fact, just because the friend has said, that person took it. I did not do any preaching. It was this friend who did not even know what is contained in these books, but he just said, okay, let my friend also take it. So sometimes Krishna uses anybody as an instrument. So if you know or don't know, you just have to be an instrument. That's it. Let's be Nimitta Mata Bhave Saveshajin. Krishna says that only. You be an instrument. I will do everything. I will arrange a person to come and take from you. Uh, I will arrange through other devotees that the books are ready and kept in stock in the temple for you. You simply take the book and be an instrument. I will send somebody. If you keep books, Krishna will send somebody. If you are not keeping anything with you, then why will Krishna send? Because what are you going to give? Mm. So we should always keep, especially ISKCON is now a institution which is fully comprised of the congregation members. It's no more like a in the 1970s where so many brahmacharis were there, sannyasis were there. Uh, in fact, the Sankirtan movement is all about all of them together. Even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan Leela, you'll always see that there are so many grihasthas. In fact, grihasthas were there in the front line. Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, they were all grihasthas. They were just leading one side fully. In whole of Bengal, they were just flooding Krishna consciousness, but they were all grihasthas. Even there in Jagannath Puri also, Sarvam Bhattacharya, there are so many other devotees. They were all grihasthas serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Even the same with many devotees in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent the Goswamis. They were the Goswamis. They were just renunciants. But then there were other grihasthas also who were living in Kasi. So everybody is there in the Sankirtan movement. We have to distribute this knowledge. And further, the distribution is made so simple that we have to just distribute a book. We have to simply attempt to distribute a book. And specifically, let me say some few Sankirtan stories because specifically, Swayam Prakash Prabhu was asking me. If I don't share, then it won't be nice. Uh, we are in India, so it is not difficult for us to directly speak what is there in the book. We don't have to say anything about this book is about that, this. You can directly speak. Indians will accept it. And there is one incident. I just met this one particular. We were just going shop to shop distributing Bhagavad Gitas and other books of Srila Prabhupada. When somebody shows interest, we'll just bring the whole set of Bhagavatam also. So when I went to this one particular shop, this lady who was in the shop, she was not showing any interest. Usually, when people they don't show interest, I ask for the second turn. At least two times I will try whether they are saying no, no or not. Not that the first time when they say no, then we leave and go. Then we cannot distribute book to anybody because obviously nobody wants. But everybody is searching for Krishna. Nobody wants Krishna, but they are searching for Krishna. They do not know. So we have to attempt. We have to speak something. Even when they say no, no, but this book is very important for you. This speaks about the goal of life, how you can be happy. Something we should speak. But they will say no, no. So when somebody says some two, three times no, then only I will just move out. Otherwise, first time no, then no books will be distributed. But when you give some inputs, when you speak, then when some conversation is engaged, then we can start speaking. But after three times also, she said no. I thought, okay, what to do? Then I just moved. But coincidentally, the devotees with whom I was coming, they were also in the same street. Just I left. When I went some two shops further, they just entered the same shop. I already went and then they said no. But I thought, okay, maybe let them try. So they went and then this devotee by the name Maitre Prabhu, he is also there as a Sankirtan brahmachari here in our temple. We just want to speak and mingle with all you devotees maybe in the coming time. So this Maitre Prabhu, she asked her, he asked her that you please take this Bhagavad Gita. Then she said that what? Uh, what did the Lord do for me? I am daily going to temple, but he did not help me. So why I should take this book? Then Maitri Prabhu told her that you are going to the temple and you are taking darshan of the Lord, but have you ever listened to what he is saying? The Lord has spoken Bhagavad Gita. You are going and seeing him. But have you ever listened to what he is saying? If you are a doctor, if you are a patient and you are going to a doctor and you are just saying that I went to the doctor and saw him, but still the disease is there. No, when the doctor is heard, then only the disease will be cured. So the doctor will give a prescription and you have to follow the prescription, then the disease will be cured. Not that I saw the doctor from the outside, but still the disease is not cured. Hmm. You have to go and see and listen to what he is saying. Not that you give your complaint and not allowing the doctor to give the treatment for you, then it is not going to work. You will have your complaints, but you should listen to the doctor. Similarly, when you go to the temple, we are going and speaking our issues, but Krishna knows what is your problem. He definitely knows what is your problem. You may say, this is the problem, that is the problem. I have that problem, financial problem. I have a family problem. But Krishna knows what is your problem. He knows the root, because just as the doctor, especially in Ayurveda, they know how to cure the root problem. So Krishna knows to cure your root problem by which you can be happy. But you are not ready to hear him. So Madhavu said that when you do not know what is Krishna's instruction and what to hear from him, then how you will be happy? Mm. You cannot be happy if you are not ready to follow. Just by going to the temple, you can't be happy. You have to hear from Krishna, then you'll be happy. Then this lady was taken. Yes, what you're saying is true. Give me the book. Then she took. This is how book this. It's very simple, and people are unhappy. We can clearly see when you go out and distribute books. We can clearly see that people are unhappy. Just a month before, uh, we just had one ecstatic day of Bhagavatam distribution. We just went to one street. That street is full of smiths. They're iron smiths. They just, some are iron, some are even silver smiths or goldsmiths also. The whole street in Tamil Nadu, there is some street like that. Maybe in every state it should be like that. So this was in Tamil Nadu, and the whole street full of smiths only. We went to the first shop. We spoke to him. He was so happy. Then he took the Bhagavatam set. Then he took it. We went to the second shop. It's just nearby streets. Mostly they're all relatives. They're all friends, same community people. Usually the Smiths will be in the same community. Nowadays it's all different, but they're in the same community, so they know community and they'll be mostly relatives. So we went to the second person and we told that he took it. So the second person also he took Shrimad Bhagavatam set. Then third, four, five, like that, 6 persons we went and everybody took it. All the 6 men. In fact, we were spending 45 minutes in each and every shop and saying, and they were just happy to hear the glories of Shrimad Bhagavatam, and then they all took it. Then we had one person. He was a tough person, it seems. Later we realized, because I'll say the story. So the seventh person, we just went to him, and he was much mocking at us. He was just mocking at us. Uh, when we say something, then he will just joke. We thought that really he is troubling in our distribution. Then we just showed the photos that, see, this person has taken. He said, oh, this is Kumar. I know, he took it. Huh? Then we'll say, see, this person. He said, oh, that person. He is such a conjuice. He took it. Then I told him, we will now know who is conjuice. If you are taking, then you are not a conjuice. If you are not taking, then you are the conjuice. But he was just making fun. Then this person, that person, he is my relative. He took it. I said, everybody took it. You can also take it. But they will take it. No, they have taken. No, why should I take it? Like that, he was just mocking. Uh, I, I just, then one of our devotees said that, sir, we just came here to take a photo with you holding Bhagavatam. Because he was also making fun. because we have to anyway take a photo with Bhagavatam so that we can show to others. No, we just thought we'll take a photo with you with Bhagavatam and then we'll show to others. Then he was just hearing that, and he, oh, what are they saying? And they are telling you to take Bhagavatam like that. No, anyway, my relatives have taken. No, why I should take like that? So in that way, he was just mocking at us. Then finally, I said, you are most miserable person in your life. I know you are suffering. You are just hiding your suffering by doing all this mockery. Then he became grave. He said, Swamiji, come to my house. He took us to his house. He lined up all his relatives. His mother was there, his wife was there, his children were there. Then one of wife's sister was there. His sister, everybody he aligned. He made them sit. Said that you please hear to these devotees. You please hear to these devotees. Then they heard for some 10 minutes about Srimad Bhagavatam. He took Bhagavatam, take a photo with the whole family members, and then the wife came to me and then told, Swamiji, actually we have such a terrible misery in our life. You please bless us that all the miseries get solved. I said, Bhagavatam has come. All your miseries will be solved. Don't worry. Just read Bhagavatam. And this person, he was just making a mockery, but his heart was so much paining inside. He was just covering up. Whomever we meet, they may be jovial, they may be, in fact, looks like they are normal, but inside everybody is suffering. They may not tell us, but the fact is that they are just miserable in their life. And when they hear, then they just change. We just have to go and then speak to such persons. Everybody is there, everybody we meet, everybody is like that. So we should always take advantage and then speak. Hare Krishna. Is the time through? Time is up? Okay. Okay, fine. So our humble request to devotees, please take this as a very, very serious thing, because this is what our movement is meant for. We are supposed to distribute Srila Prabhupada books. We are here because of Srila Prabhupada books, and this is the only possibility that our movement can expand unlimitedly. So let's take advantage by distributing Srila Prabhupada books. Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you very much. If you have any questions, comments, we can discuss. Okay. Thank you very much. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Request all devotees to assemble near the altar. We'll make the announcement in the first floor. Hare Krishna.